Terror by the Bay, I'm David. I just did this reading last night about the budget, and I was commenting that there's not a lot of news on it, and I feel really calm. I'm not really feeling really calm right now. I'm animated now. So, apparently Mike Johnson sent the House home for 2 weeks. They come back on the 28th. The budget is due March 1st, or at least the first half is. How is this Congress how is this House, ever going to get something passed by March 1st? The answer is they can't. They can't. So one of two things is going to happen. We're going to have another extension, or we're going to have a shutdown. Those are your two choices. Oh my God. And it's to the point that, and I need to pull that story up, you had somebody on the Intelligence Committee basically say, hey, you know what? Russia's doing some stuff that is really impacting our national security. We really need to meet about this. And Mike Johnson's and Biden needs to release this information. When they talked with the NSA specialist and mentioned this story, he was saying, actually, yeah, the Gang of Eight is supposed to meet Friday and to discuss it. And he goes, this guy on the Intelligence Committee can certainly bring it up, but I'm not going to talk about it. And it would be inappropriate to talk about it at this point. So apparently there's some there. And I haven't read the stories, but it appears to involve Russia and anti-satellite technology, launching something into space that is nuclear in power, whether it's a weapon or anti-satellite material. It's causing some concern amongst the Intelligence Committee, but apparently not so much concern to keep the House of Representatives in session. And I think, and there's some speculation that the Republican that brought this up, it was saying that this should be discussed, was trying to raise the alarm and call out Mike Johnson prior to him sending people home on a vacation, because he probably knew that was going to happen or heard that was going to happen. So somebody pulled the virtual fire alarm on this one, and Mike Johnson said, meh. I will also point out the last time that Congress was supposed to get something done, Johnson sent them home on a 3-day or 4-day weekend, and they had to come back that next week and get stuff passed. And while they were gone for those 3 or 4 days, he basically negotiated with Biden on the cap, on the ceiling for the budget, and then worked with Democrats to basically get the budget extended again from January, to March. That's what happened last time. So I'm trying to read to see, are we going to get a government shutdown, or are we going to get more backstabbing from Mike Johnson? Either one of them. The former will put him in the good graces of the Freedom Caucus and the MAGA Republicans, and maybe not in such good graces with the conservatives, and definitely not in the good graces of the Democrats. Or if he negotiates with the Democrats, it's going to put him in really bad graces with the Freedom Caucus, the MAGA movement. The conservatives will say they don't like it, but they'll probably be relieved, because if the Democrats all vote for it and a couple of retiring Republicans vote for it, then they've got a budget, and then they don't have to go through this embarrassing rigmarole. But this Congress, oh my God, this Republican-led House is just ridiculous. You got this budget coming up, and what are they doing? They're doing some cosplay impeachment trial. Oh my God. And they're going to have Marjorie Taylor Greene be one of the prosecutors for Mayorkas in the Senate. What a clown show. Oh my God, these guys are pathetic. Oh, Liz Cheney is probably if she cared, she probably would have spontaneously combusted. Somehow I don't think she cares too much. These guys are going to drive the Keystone Cops are going to drive that clown car right off the cliff, and she's here for it. So, what is the energy around the budget now that the House has taken a nice 2 week break and coming home a couple of days before it's due? Entertainment purposes only. Well, while Congress is out, there's going to be progress, slow, steady progress made. I think we're going to see something similar to what we saw in January. It was January, right? Yeah, it was January. Mid-January is when this was supposed to come up. I think there's going to be more progress, which is probably why it was so calm yesterday. That it's just like, it's don't worry about it. They're just going to kick the can down the road. And I'm hoping the Knight of Wands means progress towards extending the budget rather than progress towards shutting the government down. Let's see what kind of 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords, World card, whatever it is that we get. Knight of Swords. Slow, steady progress crossed with the fact that they need to be moving quickly. There's progress both ways. Interesting. Slow, steady progress doing the negotiations versus, just rushing forward to get something done. That's an interesting cross. I don't know if I've had those two knights in that cross position before. And it's about the government shutdown. And I think what it is that by sending folks home, he can make slow and steady progress towards keeping the government funded. And he doesn't have the MAGA crowd over here with their crusades about shutting it all down and burning it all down that are very reactionary. You get him out of Washington so quiet conversations can happen. That's what happened in January. Are we seeing a repeat of that? In the past, we have the Page of Swords. Johnson has negotiated. He's extended the budget twice now, huh? Yeah, because he extended it in November and kicked it to mid-December, which was supposed to end his honeymoon period. And then he kicked it again, from November to mid-January. And then he kicked it again from mid-January to March. So that was his deal in the past. Now he's much more seasoned. But they threatened him in the past. Maybe it could very well be that this Knight of Swords, this is the Freedom Caucus saying, yeah, we'll cut you slack on the past. But now if you do this again, we're going to have you. Current situation. Sorry if I'm coughing so much here. Current situation is the 7 of Coins. They've got the budget ceiling. Now it's just looking at the budget and what can they pass? What can they not pass? Do you have to have another extension in order to get this budget done? It's funny. As I'm getting into this reading, I'm calming down again. I don't know if you're noticing the edge or the animation coming off my voice, but I'm noticing it. I'm getting, Knight of Wands. That's a good card for a budget. 7 of Coins. That's a good card for a budget. These are energy cards, but I think these are the MAGA ones. And again, we're looking at the government, funding the government here. Maybe we can keep this momentum for the next 3 cards. 6 of Swords. The overarching energy is the calming things down. By sending all the children home, the adults in the room can get stuff done. So this is in a way to get the distractions out of Washington. All the Congress people that are going to be grandstanding in front of the reporters after, every day the reporters are asking how close are we getting to the budget, and everybody's, the MAGA Republicans are out there, or the social media Republicans are out there saying how they're going to shut it all down. He sends them home so that the serious work of the budget can be contemplated. Lesson to be learned is the Strength card. Shutting up the mouth of the really loud cat. This might be another show of strength on his part, to sort of block out the swords here, the MAGA Republicans and such. We'll see if that works out. We'll see if it's actually a play of strength. What's the outcome? Oh betrayal, heartbreak. Well, if he gets the budget, if he extends the budget, there will absolutely be betrayal and heartbreak, because that'll be what, the third time that he's done that to the Republicans. I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to get another extension. I really do. I don't think this is the government shutdown. I mean, it could be the government shutdown, but I get much more feeling that, well, it would work either way. The Democrats would feel betrayed, especially if they thought they were making negotiations here. I still think he's just going right back to the well and tapping the same tactics that he used in the last budget negotiation to extend it another 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. I think it was 6 weeks, right? Yeah, 6 weeks. And it could be that the reason why it gets extended another 6 weeks is that Knight of Wands is they're making more progress towards getting the budget fixed and sorted. So if that's the case, the Democrats may vote to extend. Now that Three of Swords could also be the Democrats saying, "Nope, you didn't take the border deal and the funding. You won't take up the funding itself. Fine." You don't. Your Republican colleagues don't want to vote for this budget. The Democrats will just vote present, or they'll all vote yes or something like that, and let the Republicans kill it, and then the government shutdown is square on the Republican shoulders. Let's see how this all works out. Challenge reading time. What's going to be the one key issue to decide if this budget gets extended, passed, or rejected? From the Democrats' point of view. Well, the King of Wands just popped up there. So, King of Wands, that could be Mike Johnson. It may not be the Democrats' decision. It may be Mike Johnson's decision. Or Hakeem Jeffries. It's a male who makes decisions. And so you've got both of them on there. But from the Democrats' point of view, what's going to make or break this deal? So here's the signifier. The Lovers. How much, can they come together with a deal? What's going to make the deal work? That the Democrats will approve it. What's going to cause them to say, yeah, no, we're not extending it. We're going to play hardball here. And then what's underneath it? Two of Swords. A pair of twos. The Democrats can play nice, or the Democrats can let the Republicans figure it out. We're at a real crossroads here. This is a really interesting time. And there's a third two. What do the Democrats need to do in order to extend or pass this budget? I think this is the making the progress. So it's a pair of twos here. It's making progress. Honest negotiations, making progress towards the end goal of getting the budget done. If the Democrats feel that Mike Johnson and the folks on the committees are actually making progress, sincere progress, they will keep the government open. They will keep the negotiations going on. We've got the Star card. Calm after the storm. Again, because I think there's progress, and it keeps the Democrats look good if they're working with the Republicans to keep the government open. It makes them look good. This does not necessarily make the Republicans look good. It just makes the Republicans look dysfunctional. Queen of Wands. Again, action, looking into the future. Summertime with the sunflowers. You got the cat showing the wisdom. It's looking forward to the American people. It's wanting to get that Ukraine funding done. In some ways, they will keep going on this because they want to get that Ukraine funding in there. And it could be the third time's the charm. There's a celebration here. So there's a lot. As long again as the Republicans are sincere in making progress, and maybe they get Ukraine funding passed, the Democrats are the stars. They keep the government open. Everything's great. Now, what happens? What is it going to take for the Democrats to say, "Screw you"? You guys are dysfunctional. This is your budget issue, not ours. You've made your bed. Now go lay in it. It's the Four of Wands. Opening day. Wedding card. On the low energy, it's don't let the door hit you on the way back. On the way out. This could be like, nope, see you later. Bye. Y'all want to do this on your own? Bye. We're done being lovers. We want the divorce. This one, God, it's funny in a way. The Republicans, the leverage they have is the Ukraine funding. If the Democrats, okay, I can see that too. If the Democrats had signed off all the funding for Taiwan and for Ukraine and for Israel and for Gaza, they got those four fundings. They've accomplished what they want to accomplish as far as that goes with their urgency. But I think if they walk away, it's because they aren't getting that funding. That's what it is. We want that funding bill for those four issues, and you kicked it away twice. You obviously don't need us. Twice you said no. Twice you said no. Then go figure it out yourself. You clearly don't need us to help you with anything. If they do that, it's going to be a show of strength. The Democrats at that point are playing hardball, and they're showing who is in charge. And it's funny because the minority party is not supposed to be in charge, but in a way they are. But it's because the Republicans have such a slim majority and they're so wildly dysfunctional that this is just going to be, yep, the Republicans own this. They're the ones in charge. Go blame them type of thing. Judgment. They know that they can make the case to the American citizens. Look, we've extended this budget a couple of times. The Republicans refused to take this seriously. They sent everybody on a 2-week vacation while this budget was coming due. Everybody knew it was coming due. Mike Johnson doesn't take his job seriously. Keep voting Republicans if this is what you want. And the fact that, you got 3 major arcana here too. And the fact that, they're beholden to Trump. Trump tells them what to do. You don't even have a Republican House of Representatives. You've got Donald Trump telling them what to do and how to do it. Is this the toxicity that you want? And again, I pointed this one out. This is the devil card is the opposite of the lover's card. So instead of an angel, you got the devil. And instead of 2 people that get along, they've got Adam and Eve with the serpent in the tree, you've got hell. And these people chained in hell. Nope. That's what you want. That's what you get. We respect your choices on this matter. Democrats sound like they're about done. I'm not sure which one it's. Well, again, in the end of the day, what's it going to be? What type of agreements can they come up with? Will we know what agreements are? No, because they haven't come up with those agreements yet. If they had those agreements, they wouldn't be going home for 2 weeks. I think those 2 weeks' time, again, another 2 weeks. So we have the Lover's card, the Two of Swords, the Two of Wands. In the next 2 weeks, all those twos are showing up. In the next 2 weeks, the Republicans, or I should say Mike Johnson and his team, and the leadership from the Democrats are going to need to sort things out. Can they come to something amicable? I would ask how the Republicans are going to react to this. But they're just a bunch of obstruction. Well, I can ask because it's not necessarily the Freedom Caucus. What about the non-Freedom Caucus non-MAGA folks, because those folks are going to vote unless the budget is, tax all the poor people, give the rich, they don't have to pay any taxes, and all the money goes to flamethrowers on the border to kill brown people. They're just not going to be happy. They're not happy unless they're causing misery to others. And I would like to pause for just a moment and remind myself and my viewers that in the end of the day, this is not a left versus right issue. This is an elite versus non-elite issue. These are the people that own the House members, mostly the Republicans in this case, and tell them what to do and how to do it. The Republicans are not acting in the best interest of the average citizen, and they sure as hell aren't acting in the best interest of their states. Okay, so what's the key issue for the Republicans to want to approve this budget? Queen of Pentacles. They have to have all their values funded. They want to have all their values funded, like the wall or something like that. So that's the key issue here. And underneath it, we want what we want, and if we don't get what we want, we're going to shut it down. We have no problem shutting this government down. Oh, okay. So I'm saying we're funding what we want. So the Queen of Pentacles is about practicality. And I've described this. It looks like a woman or a grandmother with a baby on the lap. So we want to take money away from single mothers. We want to take money away from welfare. We don't want to pay for food stamps. We don't want to pay for the women, infant, children supplement type stuff. We want to take all that money and build a wall with it. Now, that kind of mindset is what they want. They want everything that they want, and they don't want to compromise with anything they don't want. And if they don't get their way, they're going to have a tantrum and go to their room and slam the door, like an insolent teenager. Not that anybody in this watching this has ever been an insolent teenager or been the parent of one. And looking at my demographics, not too many of them are currently. In order for this to pass, the Republicans need to get a victory. They need to get everything that they want. And this is going to be mostly in an uncompromising way. They have to own the libs. Because that's all they're good for, is owning the libs. Yeah, the Hanged Man. They're willing to sacrifice, again, with this Four of Swords, it's because they're extremists. They're willing to sacrifice everything to get what they want to win. So, winning at all costs. I will be unsurprised if the Five of Swords shows up. Knight of Swords. Yeah, they're passionate. They charge forward. Whatever it is that they want changes on a day-to-day basis, depending on what dear leader tells them to do. But they need to show that, they're the hard-charging fighters who are always going to be victorious. And they will win at all costs. They don't care what the optics look like. They don't care who they hurt in the process. And if they can end a bunch of social programs in the process, oh, all that much better. Oh, yes, please. Thank you. This is what they need. Now, what do they need in order to want to shut this thing down? What is it that's going to cause them to shut it down? The Page of Swords. Being pissed off at Mike Johnson. Being pissed off at Mike Johnson for going behind their back and negotiating with the Democrats again. Or, more to the point, Mike Johnson, they're the Knight of Swords. Mike Johnson being a Page of Swords. Him being milquetoast and not being MAGA enough to really put an end to everything. Shut the government down, whatever. Ace of Swords. Yeah, Mike Johnson has his own ideas of how to run things, and they don't like that. He reaches out to the Democrats and tries to do things in a bipartisan way. That's going to make them not want to support him. There's your Five of Swords. And Mike Johnson will reach out to the Democrats because he's got stuff he wants to get done, and he understands it's a winner-takes-all game, and he can't win it with just Republican votes alone, so he needs to get the Democrats to fully support him. And maybe he might ask the Democrats to protect him a little bit too. But what do the Republicans want to win? They want everything, and they don't want to compromise with the Democrats at all. They are more than willing to shut this government down. That sounds like par for the course, doesn't it? Yikes. Okay. Last question as we bring this up to about a 30-minute reading here. If you were the type of person who would require federal funding for your salary or are depending on federal funding for your health care or your income, stuff like that, after the March 8th budget deadline, what is your mood going to be? Are you going to be feeling relief? Are you going to be feeling anxiety? That's a fancy way of asking a yes or no card if the budget's going to be passed or extended. But hey, we'll try different ways. Get Spirit to hear us. All right. Basically, after March 8th, will this budget have passed? Given the energies right now and the probabilities and the entertainment purposes only, let's see a little four-carder tells us. No compromise, winning at all costs. So that card came up under the reason why the Republicans would not support it. Winning at all costs. Let's see what we get underneath it. The World card, bringing things to an end, bringing things to a stop. You sent us to our rooms. Bridge over troubled water. Oh, we got the Sun card underneath there. And the Fool. I think that as much as I want to say I think this thing gets killed, I think what ends up happening here is we've moved from choppy waters to calmer shores. At a minimum, it gets extended. That's what I'm thinking. Here's why. It's bringing things to an end. What I really think is that they get the budget done. I don't know how they're going to get the budget done. I really, really don't. But it's like after this, winner takes all. We're starting a new journey. We've brought one journey to an end, and we're starting a new journey. And the truth has been exposed. And the thing here is that we got the Six of Swords moving from choppy waters to calmer shores. Now, in a low energy reading, it's going to be the Republicans saying my way or the highway. Fine, we're going to shut the government down. Everything is going to go quiet. We're going to bring the government to a close, and we're going to basically, it's a foolish thing. And now we're going to begin this new journey of the United States without a functioning government. And let's see how that looks. That's the low energy. Oh, yes. And of course, when I pulled out that double card, Donald Trump is not exactly the intellectual sharp tool in the toolbox. He's kind of the melty crayon. He is still, I believe he's still under the impression that if the government shuts down, then clearly all his federal cases shut down. The Supreme Court can't meet to discuss his cases. All the federal judges have to shut down, so to him, it buys him time. And it's been pointed out that that's not how that works. But again, Donald Trump is not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. What happens? One card. We got victory. I'm telling you, I think they're going to get it done. I don't know how that's going to work. I can't picture it because I'm of the opinion that they need to work these things out. But maybe, Mike Johnson and 100 Republicans decide that, we've got this budget idea. They might extend it and then say, okay, we've got this, and then they get it done. That's a possibility. The cat just came to visit. That's a possibility. I don't know how they're going to get this done. I really don't know how they're going to get this done. But the cards seem to indicate to me that they're going to get it done. I'm trying not to be a negative Nancy here or something like that. Say, oh, they're never going to get it done because Republicans are evil. It's not what I'm seeing. And I hope I'm right. I hope they get it done. That's what we want our Congress to do. We'll find out in 2 weeks, right? Find out soon enough. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes and your shares and everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so that my video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks that are now just hearing this message, welcome to the channel. I hope you found this reading insightful. I have a whole catalog of readings you can go find and do the searching on, and pick your favorite topic and go to town. I'm sure I've done a reading on it. At 2 a day for over a year. Well, it's not really over a year. Since May, I've been doing 2 a day. Other than that, it was kind of scattershot. There's lots of videos to look at. You can spend a long time trying to catch up. Anyways, hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.